Hey, welcome to Belize. We've got a cool adventure. In fact, Tatiana even found our very first species. This is a Central American Gulf Coast toad, and it has a really cool ribbing on the top of its head. So if we look closely here, we can see that it has these really pronounced ridges on the top, and they even extend a bit behind the eye. This is a really cool thing to start off our adventure here. Let's get to it. All right, time to let this guy go back to catching bugs and stuff. Bye-bye, fella. All right, this is kind of cool. In here, in this little crevice, whoop, this is a turniptail, the northern turniptail gecko, and they usually have very fatty tails. They store all their energy there, and they're quite a large gecko. We're mostly used to seeing those little house geckos. This guy is, I don't know, 3 or 4 times as big and a lot chunkier. We just found another really cool species here. Come take a look here. This right in here, let's fix that lighting. This is a helmeted iguana. Look at that. Now, one of the cool things about these species, about this species in particular, is that it relies on staying very, very still to do its hunting. And in fact, they will stay so still that it's even been documented that living plants have grown on top of them. It's only been documented twice, but still, that is pretty incredible, and the only lizard species known to do that. This is cool. This is cool. We have a little tiny sheep frog. Tatiana can't find it yet. Just hopping on the trail here. Tatiana, can you spot it? Look at how well camouflaged it is.
I saw a bug.
Nope. Closer. Closer than that. Closer than that, Tatiana.
Oh my gosh.
Can you spot it?
No.
How about look at the center of my light?
No, I don't. Oh my gosh, he camouflages into the. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, look at that. I have a correction. I was calling this a sheep frog. Now, sheep frogs look very similar, but this is actually an elegant narrow-mouthed toad. And so it's very similar to the narrow-mouthed toads that you would see in the southeastern United States. And the sheep frogs have some white markings on the face, and I do think they are a bit bigger too. So this guy is an elegant narrow-mouthed toad. Excellent to see. And look at that pattern at the legs. This is pretty neat. You can see just these really pretty grays on it. All right, what we got up here? Tatiana is pointing out some of our Asian house geckos.
3. There's one. There's another one.
2.
There's another one.
And somewhere right there. Now, these are non-native. You can probably tell from the name. And they make this nice little barking sound, so they're pretty easy to spot. You can often find them around urban buildings, and so they're hanging out, and this seems to be a nice spot for them. And hopefully we'll find some more of the native species out here as well. All right, whoa, this snake that's going all crazy. Trying to get him close to the ground so he doesn't flail about. This is a red coffee snake. Now this is a mimic to the venomous variable coral snake, and you can see that he has similar red and black markings. Now the one thing that you're looking for with these snakes is that tail. If you see, the red goes all the way down to the tail, and that's one of the ways that we can tell that this is safe to handle and is that red coffee snake and not a coral snake, because the coral snakes are very venomous and this guy isn't at all. So very cool to see this guy on our night hike here. All right, we've got a giant toad, and I mean that both literally, and that is the name. Look at the size of that guy. Now, one of the cool things that you want to look at to, when they're this big, it's very easy to know what kind of toad it is, but if they're smaller, you can see the parotid gland on the side, how huge it is. It's triangular and goes onto the side of the toad there. That is our biggest field mark, and it is huge. Now these guys are poisonous. That's what they use those parotid glands for, and it is excellent to see such a big and chunky guy. This is really unique. Look at that. This thing that is climbing up this leaf here is a salamander. Now this is not a sight that we see in the US with our salamanders. Well, a couple of them, but it's pretty rare This is a Mexican mushroomtongue salamander, or the Mexican climbing salamander. And he is able to climb even though he seems to be missing some feet and a tail. Now, the cool thing about salamanders in general is they can regrow their limbs. And so it's a really good way to survive if you've been attacked by a predator. So pretty cool to see such a cool species like that. And just, I mean, look at the color. Look at that pattern there. All right, we're gonna let this guy go. No reason to even move him. He's been so cooperative and just living in this little area here. I want you to see this guy. This is another one of the Central American Gulf toads, and he's kind of yellowish, and they're kind of variable in color, which is why if we come over here, there we go, we have another one, and you can see he is much darker brown. He also has much more pigment on the side, so good amount of variability in these toads, but they all have very extensive ribbing in the head that goes pretty far back. I mean, look at that. All right, come in down with me right there. Check out this guy. This is our Mexican Smiliska. Sometimes these guys are bright green, but this guy is a little younger. But if you look closely below the eye, you can see that it has that white patch. That's one of its field marks to help us differentiate it from other frogs in the area. Okay, check that out. We've got a little skink here. Let's see if we can catch him. There he is, that little skink. Figure out what he is. Well, the skink escaped as I was picking out leaves from my hand, and it's always frustrating when that happens. But luckily, I got another thing for you. This little frog here is a Mexican white-lipped frog. Now, this little rain frog is part of the genus Leptodactylus, and that means thin toed. And look at those toes there. Look at how long the toes are, and there's no webbing at all. Now, from this angle, you can also see that white lip. That is where it gets its name from. What a cool little frog. This is excellent. We have another sleeping anole, but this one is much bigger, and I think I know what this is. This one looks like a ghost anole. They're very light in color, kind of like a ghost. They have a cool sort of zigzag pattern on the back too. Look at that. Now, like I mentioned, these guys like to find leaves like this to sleep on to hide from predators. And if a predator comes up the tree, it'll shake and it'll give him warning to get away. Pretty cool to see this guy. All right, this is kind of cool. Something we don't see all the time. A nice big scorpion. Look at that. No babies on this one. Last time we found a scorpion had babies all over its back, but pretty cool. All right, check this out. This little tiny frog that I just found. I think this frog might not have a common name, or not one that I know. I think it's Lithobates leptus, probably because those little dots on the back make it sort of have a leopard pattern. But isn't that cool? Really pretty frog here. Neat. Well, it is pretty late, so we're gonna let this guy go and get some sleep and try to find some stuff in the morning. All right, if you hear that sound, those are howler monkeys. Now, it is very late at night, and we're trying to get some sleep, so it's a little annoying, but it's cool that you can hear that out here. Wow. Cool. Tatiana's just getting back from the pool, and look at what she found. This is the Terciopelo. Oh, it's on the move. This is the Fertilans. Fertilans can refer to a couple different species, and this one, like I said, is known as the Terciopelo. Very cool to see, and this is highly venomous. We are just going to leave it alone as we continue on exploring. All right, well, we have to get going. I don't want anybody to step on him because he's right on the pathway, so we're just going to give him a little nudge and help him get off the path. All right, buddy. See you later. Right, look at this guy. We've got another true frog here. Let's take a close look, figure out what he is. Oh, this is an easy one. We can see that light eye spot underneath those vertical lines. This is another Mexican Smilisca, or common Mexican tree frog. Something we talk about often on the channel is the color in the concealed portion of the legs. And if you can see, let's get it a little closer. You can see this one has some nice yellows with black spots. It's pretty cool that such a plain looking frog on the outside can have those sort of sealed, concealed colors if you just open them up a little bit like that. So anyway, thank you for showing us that. You can hop away now if you'd like. Let's see if he'll scoot. Boop. Boop. Oh well, we'll put him back down right where we found him. We had one of these last night, but this is one of the coolest things that I think we found. Here is another Mexican mushroom tongue salamander. And look at just how high off the ground he is. It's probably 4 feet up in the air. This one looks like it has all of its limbs. Now, they're called mushroom tongues because their tongue is shaped that way, but specifically they use their tongues to hunt prey as a projectile. Now they're not the only genus of salamanders to do this, but it's pretty cool. And, you know, I don't think that there's any prey nearby, so we won't be able to see today, but that's awesome. Now this place also has some frogs nearby. Just heard one croak. And let me see if I can get in here. Oh, look at that. We have a frog right here. I was going to show you this one back there. Let me focus. There we go. But there's that guy there. Okay, I want to show you a close look at this frog, but before I grab him, just in case he gets away, we can see some of the field marks already. If you look in that webbing on the feet and near the sort of concealed portions of the leg, you can start to see some reddish colors. That is one of those field marks for the mahogany tree frog, which this guy is. Look at that lovely red color that they have there at the legs. What an excellent field mark there. Now, I don't like to have them out in that position. I try to be very gentle with them, but you can see this guy, very cute looking. So I'm gonna come and lift him back up and put him right back to the leaf he was on. Let's see if he'll jump. Go, buddy. Thanks. Come on. Oh. Well, what? That was kind of a crazy jump. He just jumped all the way over here, landed perfectly on this leaf here. This is nice. We have a nice pond frog over there. And of course, right over here, we have a big old giant toad. But let's see if we can get a little closer look at this guy. You can see those dorsolateral. Oh, there. Oh, he goes. What do we got? How are those markings on the back looking? Ooh, this is leopard frog territory. Look at that. You can see all of those nice round blotches on the back. This is a leopard frog. Out here, this is going to be the Brown's leopard frog. It used to be part of the Rio Grande leopard frog. Nice to get one more new species for the day. Okay, well, I wasn't going to show you more house geckos, but look at these two. That one on top, I think, has the other one pinned down, and so they are probably going to be mating. That's really cool. So these are more Asian house geckos. There's just a ton of them here, but it's cool to see that little mating ritual. All right, here's something kind of cool, kind of hard to spot. Right up there on that vine. Let's zoom in a bit. There it is. We've got a chrysalis there. So some sort of insect like a caterpillar might be turning into a butterfly in that. So pretty cool to see that, and definitely hard to spot. All right, you got to check this out right there, right behind me. This is a black holler monkey. And now when they're above you, you have to be, there's a couple more up there. You have to be a little careful because they do poop. But look at him right there. He is beautiful. So Yucatan black howler monkey. These guys are endangered out here in Belize, but it's excellent to see. And it's very, very hot today. So he is just trying to find a nice place to rest, to avoid the heat. Wow, cool. Well, I've got to say, we found some pretty cool stuff out in this jungle the last couple days. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. It really helps me a lot. I'm Greg Schechter. This is Schechter Natural History, and I'll see you in the field.